G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. I think we're going to stick with the French theme for a little bit, so we're going to have a look at the AMX M4, which is essentially the Lorraine 40T's slightly retarded cousin. Let's just put it that way. I really like this tank. Not as much as the 40T, because it's a little bit more fat, it doesn't have as great as a gun, but it does have a really good survivability, decent gun, and a lower battle rating. So what you used to do with the Lorraine 40T is you used to go into 6.3 and bully T-34-85s, you used to bully Shermans. Now you can do that in the AMX M4. And it's beautiful. Maximum bully time with a 6.3 that has a really good reload. Well, it's okay. It's not a great reload. But for the armor, it's good survivability. For the armor that it faces, the gun is good. And the mobility is decent enough for you to get into a good position early on in the match and really hold it. So as you can see, we're on Normandy, and I'm just rushing straight for the monument. And the monument is probably the most valuable part of Normandy, because you can control what goes past these flanking spots. As you can see, M41 Walker Bulldog easily dispatched, and all that's taken out is my breech and barrel, because the breech sits so high in the tank that the way the Bulldog shot over the wreck of the Panther, he only penned to the very top of my tank, and so the barrel and breech get taken out, and a couple of crew members, and that's it. I'm down to 3 crew, but I still have a decent reload, and I still have another couple of shots that I can still take, provided that I get hit in the right spot, of course. Now, the AMX M4, for me personally, is one of the best tanks to bully enemies in. Apart from maybe a big fat Russian heavy tank, or a big fat American heavy tank, like the T-29. As you can see there, I've taken out his gunner and loader, get an easy kill on the Super Pershing, which makes me sad a little bit. And as you can see here, I'm now in a sniper duel, or a shootout, with the T-29, and it's kind of spoofing me until I get a shot through his turret ring. That's 193mm of pen. You can do that with a long 88. So that's a really nice spot, a really nice thing to shoot on the T-29. It's almost a guaranteed kill. As you can see there, Doom Turtles to the right of me and a Sherman to the left. He sets my engine on fire. But my real concern now is the Doom Turtles. They're even bigger bully tanks, and one of them is at 7.0 and one of them is at 6.3. Extra bully. So I've got to be really careful of where I peek, because I know I can't pen them from the front, and they are very slow, but if they play their cards right, they can even flank me by the time that the enemies have sort of pushed up, and it'll be too late for me to do anything because I can't get flanking shots. I'm just sitting here patiently reloading, repairing my breech, trying to stay out of harm's way. Now, as soon as the engine repairs, I cancel the repair and duck a little bit closer into cover, because I know that my team is sort of controlling the map now. As you can see, because I've controlled Monument, it's allowed the enemy team it's prevented the enemy team from pushing further around the city, around the block, to the south, and it's allowed my team to sort of push up on them and start pushing the spawn, which will further reduce the number of enemies in the town, and it'll help bleed the cap. So holding the monument is a really powerful position, as long as you don't get contested, which is where the Doom Turtles are coming in. But because I've already cleared the city, the Doom Turtles are extremely susceptible to being flanked, and as a result, I can get some really nice shots on them. I get a really good shot on the Doom Turtle along the sea wall, and one-shot him. It's, I think, 80mm of armor on the side. I can't really remember. But if it's side on, Doom Turtle is a really easy kill. The problem is the 300+ millimeters of frontal armor. which as a Lorraine 40T and AMX M4, AMX 50, you'll struggle to pen, and you even have to aim for weak spots in the AMX 50 with the 120. So it's really, really quite a force to be reckoned with. The Monument, though, is a really, really good spot to gather intel, and I can tell my RU-251 and a couple of other teammates that there is indeed a Doom Turtle there, and as he turns his attention, I get a nice side shot in him. I miss the driver and the loader, but, you know, that's okay. Go for a cupola shot, miss, and there's the ready rack coming back into it. But it's okay, because the Doom Turtle's already been set on fire. He's not going anywhere. He's already been flanked. And at this point, you would think the match is basically over. They have B, we have map control essentially, and we're starting to even push their spawn, but lo and behold, A gets capped because the enemies have somehow found a little gap in our lines, and they've managed to sneak through. So I pop that, wait for the ready rack again, which is starting to get to me as an aggressive player. I like to play, as you know, really aggressively, and the AMX M4 and anything really with an auto-loading system sort of holds me back from that. Whereas a tank like the RU-251, the Abrams, I can just go nuts, go flank, and the ready rack won't really hinder me that much. But in the case of the AMX M4, because it's a little bit slower, I have a bit more ability to sort of control that. So I'm taking back the cap, I'm reloading my ready rack, I think I even take on an extra crew member here. So I'm just taking my time, resting on my laurels, because I know the team is not in any sort of dangerous situation. I've got teammates around me, the enemies are being pushed back again, and it's all fine and dandy by the looks of it. So, as you can see, I've managed to rack up a fair number of kills, just by holding a really, really crucial spot. And that's the essence of these French tanks with the oscillating turret. You've got to find that really, not cheesy spot, but a really powerful position where you can dominate the battlefield from. Even if that means you have to constantly be moving from spot to spot, which is what you may well need to do as a light or medium tank driver. You've got to constantly find those spots where the enemy isn't going to see you coming, and then you've got to look for the kill shots. You've got to, you know, flank, scout, whatever you want to do, and it's extremely rewarding. 7 kills. I mean, I'll get another cap, and I'm not going to spoil the number of kills that I get, because it's insane. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, considering that I'm basically bullying M18s, it's not that surprising, but it is a really, really good number of kills, and it was a really, really satisfying battle to play, because we just dominated the whole time. And whilst a challenge is always nice, and as I've said that many times before, I really enjoy challenges, having a couple of curb stomps every now and then, especially in a tank that isn't played as much, you know, the constant ones, the M18s, the Leopard 1s, Abrams are the ones that are played the most, but something like the AMX M4, which doesn't get too many plays every month, getting a massive game in that is extremely satisfying. And it's not that it's a bad tank, it's just that it's not the meta, because I really can't put a finger on why. It's a great all-round tank. I'm honestly confused as to why it isn't played more. I guess people just think Lorraine 40T is the one to go with because it's got more pen, etc. But honestly, I honestly have a little soft spot for this tank. It's just an absolute joy to play because it's just so good. It's just really, really nice to have a tank at 6.3 that sort of is able to dominate so much, but at the same time is a glass cannon and has those limitations where you can't really just go nuts. it's kind of nice to play. And as long as you're not blind, like me, you'll be fine. You'll have really, really good games. I'm still laughing. I've looked at this guy twice, and I still haven't seen him. Third time. And there it goes. Not bad. 9 kills, 2 caps, 1 assist. 3,000 points. You know what? If that means that my team absolutely curb stomps, then I couldn't be happier. That's an insane game, and I chose the ARL 44 because I have to spade it. I will say, never play that tank because I am never going to want to touch that ever again. It's a miserable, miserable, miserable tank to play. I can't stand it. It's so bad for me. But anyway, the AMX M4. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Just let me know what else I should try. I've been enjoying YouTube lately. It's been really good fun, and maybe I'll get you guys to squad sometime or other. But yeah, until then, take care, and I'll catch you next time.